Ooh, you miss me? I know. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time meeting this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell icon so when I release a video you'll be the first to get notified. Alright, in this video we're going to be making a pinafore flay dress. So I've gone ahead to mark the starting point and I'm going to take our shoulder measurement divided by 2. I'll mark it at that point. Once I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and roll the line to connect it to the point where we marked. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now and check for the shoulder because I'm using the pieces of fabric. I already cut out the flay, so I went ahead to mark the shoulder slant, which is 1 inch, and the neck width, which is 3.5 inches. You can make it wider, 4 inches. I also gone on to make the armhole length, which is the chest length, 7 inches, and I'm also taking that shoulder point there just to get a straight line. So I'm going to use my ruler to connect it to the shoulder line at the slant there. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and take my the vertical measurement. So I'm taking my bust point at that point, which is 9 inches. I'm also going to take my under bust, which is 12.5, and then my half length. And I'm going to rule a straight line across that point. A straight line across the under bust and a straight line across the half length. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to impute my round bust measurement divided by 4 and I'll mark it at that point, and then I'm going to add 1.5 inches allowance. I'll go ahead and impute my round under bust measurement by 4 and also 1.5 inches for the allowance. I'll do the same for the half length, the round waist measurement divided by 4, and I'll add 1.5 inches allowance, and then I will connect it to the under bust. Alright, so once I'm done with that, I'm going to also get the depth of the neck. So I marked 9 inches. You can make yours lower because you'll be putting this on with an inner, like a white inner. So I marked 9 inches as the neck depth. I'll go ahead and then cut. So if you notice, I did not add a zipper allowance to this bodice because I want to have a side zip. So I'll be attaching an invisible zip to the side. So if you want to have a zip at the back, you just need to add your zipper allowance to the back side. Okay, you're not going to cut the both bodies unfold together. All right, so I went ahead to cut the neckline. If you notice, I cut first the back neckline. I cut it on 8 inches, then I removed it and then cut the front in the actual 9 inches. That's because I did not want both the front and the back neckline to be the same. Okay, so this is the down part of the flay. I'd already cut it because my camera could not capture everything. So I will just do the illustration on a small piece of paper. Okay, so this is the waist measurement, which is 25 inches, and the length of the dress is 60 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and divide 25 inches by 4, which we folded, and I got 6.25 inches. This is what I'm going to get as my round waist. So I'm dividing this 6.2 inches by 2 for I'm going to be cutting 2 flays, which is 180 by 180. So I got 3.1 inches. So this is what I'm going to be cutting on my flay. So I also went to check the length. The length is 60 minus the half flay, which is 16.5, and I got 43.5. I got 43.5. So on the fabric, you just go ahead and fold your fabric in a triangular form, like a bias form, and then I'm going to take my tape to find 3.1, because you know we had 3.1 when we measured it, when we divided it into 2. So use your tape and look for 3.1. You mark it at that point, then go to the starting point and check where that point meets, and then you make a curve around that point. Okay, so when you measure it, it's supposed to give you 3.1. You can also add your sewing allowance, like half inch on both sides, which is 1 inch. Which is what I added. And then when you're done, you're going to mark the 43.5 inches for the length of this down part, which is the down flay. And once you're done with that, you can now go ahead and cut. It's as simple as that. Let me know if you want me to make a full video of how to cut a flay skirt, or a 180-degree flay, or a 360-degree flay. Let me know in the comment section there. Okay, so this was how I cut the down flay of the dress. So we are going to go ahead with the sewing tutorial now. Also remember, we are going to cut this flay, two of it, because we're making a 360-degree flay. Okay, so I've gone ahead to cut my facing for the front and the back bodies, and I've added stay to them just to make them to relax. I'm going to go ahead to join the front bodies and the back bodies, the shoulders, half inches on both sides. I will join for the front bodies, and then I'm going to go ahead and join the facing to the front side facing the back side, and I will sew the shoulder with half inches. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and iron it. So once I was done, I brought it back and then placed the facing on top of the main bodies, and then I'm going to use my pin to pin it down. I'm making sure that the shoulders of the facing and the shoulders of the main bodies are aligned, and then I'll pin it at that point. Once I'm done pinning, I'm going to go ahead and sew round. I'm going to use 1/4 of an inch to sew the neck. Okay, so once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and notch all the neck just to make it to relax, and then I'm going to top stitch it at that point and go ahead and iron press this. So when I was done, this is what I had. It's looking very, very neat. So I'm going to go ahead to also sew the armhole, because I want this to be an inside finishing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sew the armhole using half inches. Once I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and notch those curves so that it can relax. Once I'm done notching it, I'm going to turn it over and then take it to my ironing table and then press it. And this is what it looked like, guys. It's looking so neat. I'm going to go ahead and then take my measurement. I went ahead to notch the center point because I'm going to be adding it to the flay now. So I notched the center point. Remember, the front part of the flay has a pleat at the center. A pleat, so I'm going to notch it so I know where I put my pleats. So I'm going to go ahead and then place my bodice to the lower part, and I'm going to use half inch to join it at that point. Okay, so I notched the half part, the center, and then I also notched the bodies, and then I joined it. So I went ahead to also bring my front bodies, and then I joined the down part of the front bodies. This is where I was trying to make the pleat. It's a kissing pleat at the front, so I held the kissing pleat down with a loose stitch, and then I went ahead to sew half inches to join the lower part and the upper part of the dress. Okay, so once I was done with that, I went ahead to take the round measurements of my bust, my waist, and then I marked the allowance at that point, and I sewed this straight down. This is where I went to add my invisible zip to my dress, and here is the final look of our dress. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comment section which outfit you want me to make next.